Here's Reinman in the Morning, on demand from 102.1 and 105.3, The Shark.
Classic hits for the Seacoast, 102.1, 105.3 The Shark. It's Reinman in the Morning. And this guest is a music legend who brings his act and his music and everything that's wonderful about it to the Music Hall in downtown Portsmouth this Sunday evening. Would you welcome to Reinman in the Morning the one and only Herb Alpert. Mr. Alpert, it's an honor. How are you doing, sir?
Thanks, John. Nice to be with you. Yeah, we're looking forward to it. Can't wait.
The first thing
I can wait. I'll tell you, I really can wait. My life is going so fast, I can't believe it. All of a sudden, it's like I'm having a birthday every 3 months or something.
That's so awesome. What do you attribute that to? Why do you think that is?
I think as you get older, that's what happens. I couldn't wait to be 21, but I can certainly wait now.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'll put off my birthday for the time being. Well, the first thing I have to mention is that you and Taylor Swift have something in common. You're the only two artists who've had 4 albums on the Billboard Top 10 list at the same time. First of all, what did it feel like in 1966 to look at that list and see your name on like half of it?
You know, at that time in my life, I really wasn't thinking about that. It was just it happened. I don't know. I wasn't really conscious of it. I was only conscious of it when people told me, "Isn't that an amazing feat?" Yeah, and then I saw the charts at some period, and I said, "Well, that's pretty amazing," because you know what happened was I had that Lonely Bull record in 1962. It was a big record, and then there was a kind of a lull in people wanting to hear the music, and then all of a sudden there was a big comeback, with the Whipped Cream and Other Delights album, and when that album hit, especially Taste of Honey, it kind of put all those other albums, in the limelight again, and then there 4 albums showed up in the actually there were 5. That was if you count the top 20. There was one at 19 or 20, I'm not sure, but no, it was pretty amazing, and I got calls lately from people all over, publications all over the world, saying, "How do you feel about Taylor Swift breaking your record?" And I told Taylor, I feel great about it. I think she's a wonderful artist. She deserves it. She's smart. She's very gracious and sensitive, and I'm all for it. No, there's one record they cannot. It's going to be tough to break because I'm the only artist that has had a #1 record as a vocalist with This Guy's in Love with You, yeah, and the #1 record with Rise in 1979.
Oh, yeah, there you go. I mean, that. I don't see that getting broken unless Taylor starts playing the accordion or something, and that's just not fair,
Yeah, well, it's possible. It's all possible.
Have you gotten to talk to Taylor at all? Do you know her from?
No, I do not know her, but I do admire her. She's a smart lady. She's knows her audience, and she's well equipped to make great records.
Well, you did this in 1966, and I'm a music nerd, so I hear that, and that's the year the Beach Boys released Pet Sounds. The Beatles had Revolver out. I mean, did it surprise you at all to have people recognize the greatness of your music at a time when it seemed like rock was just kind of taken over?
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I was just trying to make good music. I wasn't thinking about making hit records, to tell you the truth. I mean, I know this might sound weird, but I was trying to make records that made me feel good. I love recording. I'm a card-carrying introvert, and I like to make music. I like to make music for myself, and then if I can do that and have fun doing it, I'll, put the collection together and put it out as an album. But I wasn't trying to desperately try to make a hit record.
Well, when you have an idea, like, how does your process go? Like, do you kind of just get a melody in your head and just kind of sound it out? Or do you sit down and say, I'm going to try to write a cheerful one, or I'm going to try to write kind of a mellow one? How do you kind of get there to write these songs?
I think positive music just kind of comes out of me naturally. That's what I'm looking for. I like that feeling.
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you right off, I first saw you and really became a huge fan. I used to work right for Jimmy Fallon, and you have a song called Route 101, and that was a song that, like, in the office, whenever we just needed to be in a better mood, someone would just press that button and it would come on. So I certainly know that feeling of being cheered up by Herb Alpert, and we're so happy to have you back here in New England. Are there any clubs or venues that you loved playing when you first started coming to like the Boston area?
Oh, let's see. We played at Scullers, but I hear a lot about this Jimmy's.
Yeah.
In your area, and I know a lot of great artists that played there. My friend Herbie Hancock has played there, and thinking about places like that. We play at the Carlisle in New York.
Oh, yeah.
For the last 6-7 years, we play there for 2 weeks usually, and it's a nice little venue. It's small, but it's really intimate, and it has a great history. And I love playing there. They treat us really nice. And I like being in New York for about 2 weeks. That's about it. That's about all I can handle in New York.
Yeah.
Because I live on the West Coast, and
sure.
I'm I don't know. I like to travel, but New York is a very special energy. And
sure.
For 2 weeks, I can handle it.
Gotcha. Well, you're on tour with your wife, Lonnie Hall, and you're about to celebrate a major anniversary. Is that right?
Oh, yeah. It's going to be, I can't even believe it myself, 50 years in December. We've been together for about 54 years, but man, oh man, I was lucky. I really married an angel, John, and I got really fortunate. We met in 1966 because I auditioned with my partner, Jerry Moss, the Brazil 66, Sergio Mendes, and Lonnie was the lead singer. We signed them to A&M, and then we took them. They opened the show for us on the road for about a couple months, and Lonnie and I became friends. And I produced the first few Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66 records. And one thing led to another. For a year, she called me Mr. Alpert, Mr. Alpert. And then all of a sudden, she was not I wasn't Mr. Alpert. I was, hey, you.
Yeah.
But, we have a special relationship. She's fabulous. I was married before.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I had a divorce. And when Lonnie spotted the place where I was living years back when I was married with my first wife, she said, that place doesn't look anything like you. And I think, oh my goodness, she sees right through me. I didn't feel that way either, but I couldn't articulate it.
Yeah.
So she saw a lot of things in my life that were very natural and very earthy, and she's a wonderful, wonderful human being.
Well, are there any moments when you're out on tour? Do you have any husband-wife moments where, like, you come out of your dressing room and Lonnie, like, looks at your shirt and says, "You're going to wear that"?
No.
Okay.
We have a whole different relationship. It's all. I try to pump her up. She tries to pump me up.
Oh, that's sweet.
It's great.
That isn't.
We're having a good time. We're doing this. Obviously, at my age, my sister, who was 96, says, "Why are you doing this? Why are you traveling? It doesn't take a lot of energy." And the truth of it is, it gives me energy to do it. And I'm not doing it like I'm on a victory tour. I'm doing it because this is what I love to do.
Yeah.
I love to play the trumpet. I love to make music. And I feel like I've been so fortunate in my life selling so many records. I can make X amount of people happy with the music. And that's what I want to do as long as I'm able to do it and have the air to blow music and through that horn.
Yeah. And you have a new album, Sunny Side of the Street. Can you tell us what to expect when we give it a listen?
Well, I just make music that makes me feel good. I just, before the Tijuana Brass, before the Lonely Bull and all that, I used to play weddings and parties, and I have this whole stuff, logged in my head of all these songs that just, every now and then a song kind of just pops up out of nowhere. And I feel like trying to record it. And what I try to do is, if it's a known song, it has a history of people knowing the melody, I try to do it in a way that isn't quite, so it's, I try to find an original way to do it. So it's just not another recording of that old music. So that's always been my pursuit. I love trying to do that.
You've written so much, like we've talked about, cheerful music over the years, and there's so many that I love. I mean, mine is probably Tijuana Taxi, that you can't not feel better when you hear it. Is there a song when fans come up and they thank you for all your music? Is there one that stands out where they say, man, this just makes me feel good all the time?
Well, oddly enough, it's This Guy's in Love with You, the song that I sing.
Oh, that's great.
And through the years, people have come up to me and says, Mr. Alpert, that song, I was at my wedding, and got married in Hong Kong. I got married in Hawaii. I got married in various parts of the world. I said, oh, that's so beautiful. Are you still married? Not to that creep.
Hey, man. Yeah, same boat, man. Yeah, on this end here, where it's like we all go for our second chances, but
yeah, love is wonderful the second time around.
There you go, Mr. Alpert. This has been an honor. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope it's a wonderful show on Sunday night. And thank you so much for coming here to Portsmouth.
Oh, thank you. It will be a wonderful show. People will not be disappointed. We've been playing for around 15 years now with the same group, and it's amazing the people, how they react to the music. It's a good feeling. You're going to leave the theater feeling really good. Come and see us.
For all things Herb Alpert, visit herbalpert.com. My guest this morning star in On Your Feet. It's the touring Broadway musical about Gloria Estefan and her husband. We love this story. It's playing now through August 19th at the Ogunquit Playhouse. You can get tickets at ogunquitplayhouse.org. Please welcome to Reinman in the Morning, Samuel Garnica, but how do I really say it?
Yes, that was correct.
Oh, I got it right.
You got it.
And Gaby Albo.
Yeah.
I got it.
You got it.
Two.
Celebrate it from now.
I'm a hick from New Hampshire. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Granite State. Have you a good time here in New England so far?
Thank you. Yeah, we just arrived. We're actually living in Algonquin. We just had our tech rehearsals and our opening night, so we've been busy.
Yeah.
But we're so excited to get to see around.
Yes. So this is the touring version of On Your Feet, the musical. So tell me, what's this about? Because some people know the music, but what's really the story behind this? What are we getting into with this musical?
Well, I could say personally that, first of all, this is the story of Emilio and Gloria Estefan. They are one of the most important figures in our music and pop culture.
Yeah.
And of course, the story tells us all the journey that they went through since they, start their career. They start together with the Miami Sound Machine, which was the first project.
Yeah.
And how it evolved until the time when they had a crash.
Yes.
That almost changed their life.
Yeah.
But beyond all that little line that I just told you is the story of many of the immigrants that came from, overseas or South America to make their dreams here in the United States. So it's a reflection of many of the stories that even if part of of many of us in the cast are living now. I'm from Venezuela.
Yeah.
I'm from Mexico.
Yeah, I was from Mexico.
Wow.
And we had the chance to come from our countries to make our dreams and our careers possible here in the United States. And it's part of the story that is set in the story in the show.
Such an amazing story. And Gaby, you play Gloria Estefan. I mean, that's unbelievable. What goes through your mind every night when you step out on stage on Ogunquit and you're playing Gloria Estefan?
It is pretty physically demanding. The show is 2 hours long, and I'm there for an hour and 59 minutes.
That's a lot of time.
Yeah, it is a lot of time. So for me, it's a really artistic challenge in a lot of ways. But of course, it is inspiring because you're carrying a story of somebody that not just opened a path for herself, but for other people behind her. So that's cool.
Now, Gaby, where did you first start performing? Where did you come up?
I'm from Mexico. I've always lived there before coming to Algonquin. I was there. So I trained there. I started my career there. I came and did study in New York in AMDA. I studied musical theater.
Yeah.
And I did my first national tour, but this was 10 years ago.
Unbelievable.
And now, out of nowhere, it's a very magical story. I ended up here in the United States doing the Spanish premiere of On Your Feet in Washington, D.C., and now the tour. So that's pretty cool.
That's just so unbelievable. And Samuel, how long have you guys known each other? Did you meet just when you started doing this production?
Yes, the first time we saw each other was in a Zoom call when we did the first reading, actually, for the world premiere of the show in Spanish in Washington, D.C. It was last March last year.
Now, how does that work? Now, I know a little bit about from the film and TV side, but for a musical, how does it work when everyone's trying out, auditioning and casting and meeting for chemistry and things like that?
Oh, it It is beautiful. Like it is actually, it makes it for us easier to like reach other productions, to reach like to be available for more jobs. But this specific one was because I'm not from the States. Like we had to do it through Zoom, and
you did it through Zoom?
Yeah, like our first reading, we had like a couple of people. A girl, the one that plays mom, Fran Tapia, like she's from Chile and lives in Washington. Like we have people from we have like 10 nationalities in this show.
That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
People from, I guess, all the countries from Mexico till Argentina,
Venezuela, Colombia, Cuba, like
all the countries, which makes for us and as an artist, I guess it brings to our message to a new level, because this cast is so diverse and international that we are blessed to have a representation at least of one of us from each country.
Okay, now Samuel. And you guys were talking about Zoom, and this is a musical. Did people have to sing on Zoom? Was that part of it?
Yeah. Well, nowadays there are ways that you can do some, arrangements and settings in the.
Oh, really?
Calls. Yeah.
I remember rehearsing like reading conga for the first time through Zoom, but they were trying to do the choruses, but of course there's a delay, so we're like, come on, shake up, but conga, go. It was a whole mess.
And then you play it backwards, and it says Paul McCartney's dead. It's a whole thing.
What?
Everyone gets confused.
Oh my God, I have to look into that. No.
It says something about the devil. I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, you got to stay off Zoom. It's in person now. So how have the shows been going in Maine? How have the audiences in Maine been so far?
Amazing.
I mean, the opening night, I have amazing memories about that night. And I mean, I guess everything was just there. Audience was so engaged with the story and with the numbers, and it was just fantastic.
Yeah, we've toured for over 70 cities already with this show, and Algonquin was amazing.
Opening night was very special.
For real to remember. Like opening night, that audience, they laughed, clapped in places that they've never done before.
Really? Oh, isn't that the best?
People stood up to dance with us. Like it was crazy. It was. Yeah, unforgettable.
Really I come from a stand-up background, so I'm the same thing. Is that like, you would try out your stand-up set before you did it on TV, and you're bombing. You're going on like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, New York City, and then you do your setups on TV, and the setup gets like a laugh, and you're like, oh my God, like this is real life. Okay, so I'm going to ask you some questions because I'm one of those people. Like I like going to the theater. I like musicals. I have a 6-year-old daughter who loves loves this stuff. But I always feel out of place. So I want to ask you some questions on just how to deal with it. How you would respond. What is the proper etiquette? Say you're sitting in the front row and you're with a child, and the child says, "Daddy, I have to use the restroom." What's the best way to handle that as an audience member?
When in a play, you mean?
Yeah, like how would you prefer we behave if we have to get up and leave in the middle of the performance?
I mean, I guess we are used to that, and it's part of our training. Sometimes we are. I guess the last show that we had 2 days ago, people was like coughing in the first row, and I was like, okay, but
really?
Out loud. So we have to be used. I mean, we are used to handle those things. It's not easy at all,
right?
But of course, if you have to, take your kid to the bathroom, just
go. Even little, we've had like. Sorry. No, and we've had like, that's the least. Like we've had like emergency, like medical emergency. So like the show stops and like you have to be like there and exit the stage. And
wow.
Once I remember in someone in one of the balconies.
Yeah.
I guess she threw up in the middle of a show. We have to stop the show, and we have to, make a pause, take care of that issue, and then and then move forward.
Or we've had people like, I can't hear you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
That happened to me. That happened actually to me.
They can't hear the sound machine?
In the very last scene, which is one of the most intense in the show, something happened with my mic, which is natural in this. I mean, if you're new coming to theater, you don't know these things.
Oh my gosh!
But issues happen. So something happened with my mic in the middle of the scene, and that person started screaming, "I can't hear you! You better talk louder."
So go to the bathroom. That's fine.
So you can take your kids to the bathroom. It's okay. We're fine.
Okay. Good to know. How about this? Candy. When people unwrap candy. Does that drive you? Do you ever hear that? Because that's something I've heard from people, is that they'll go, Like when they're getting out, is there any kind of food or thing that you go?
No,
Man,
do you know what is worst? As us audience, no, I mean when you go to a show and you have the person next to you singing the song out loud. Even louder than the actor. Oh, listen, I'm coming to see this person performing, not you performing. Thank you for your show.
Oh, so they're singing along.
Yeah, like,
yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But in this show, I actually, as a performer, I enjoy if people are singing.
Oh, okay,
Of
good.
course, yes.
I guess it's a different perspective.
Yeah.
Yeah. But now that you mentioned that, whenever I'm an audience member, I'm like, I want to open a candy. And I'm
Gaby.
like this. But no, I've never heard anything on stage.
No.
If anybody's opening anything.
I'm a smacker. I'm a loud chewer. Yeah, and I never make. We've talked about this. That I get whenever I have like a Milk Duds or Junior, and I'm just like, oh, and then just like, yeah. Let me. Okay, so this is the one that people always talk about.
Okay.
Cell phones going off. It's 2023.
Yes.
I know. So.
Do we still have people not silencing their phones in 2023?
Of course not.
No,
gosh.
people.
Why?
I guess people has their own alarms for their medicine in the middle of a show. I think people just have. I heard the alarm like ringing in the middle of a show. That should be for a medicine, whatever, and they forgot to turn it off.
No, but also people think that they are hiding their phones to like record parts of the show.
Oh,
and
no.
I don't know if they can if they know that their phones reflect with the lights, and so we see that they're trying to hide their phone. Actually, so that's yeah.
Yeah, it's like when you're at the movies and someone does that happen where you just someone's sitting in front of you and every time they check their phone,
yes.
everything lights up.
Yeah.
It's like they're telling you a scary story.
Yeah, but phones are other elements that we have to
Just silence your
Be ready
phones,
for it.
man. Just put it on vibrate, right? Is that cool?
At least.
I mean, it's Emilio and Gloria Estefan. You got to vibrate a little bit to the
Yes.
music. Dude. Put it on vibrate, man. It is now through August 19th at the Algonquin Playhouse. You can get tickets at algonquinplayhouse.org. Is there anything I forgot to mention, Samuel or Gaby?
No, come see. Like a lot of people think that it's just like conga and dancing to it and like a jukebox musical, and it's way more than that. I can assure you that you're gonna be going out, yes, happy, yes, dancing, but deeply touched as well.
Yeah, and I guess we have talked about this. We feel very grateful and blessed to be here. I never thought me as a kid performing in Maine doing the show, so I feel very grateful to be able to bring our stories as an immigrant, but also to absorb what's Maine, what's Algonquin, what's the city, and of course this exchange of culture is what makes us happy as an artist. So please come, join us, and enjoy the show on your feet.
We're so happy to have you, and I'm going to take my daughter, and I'll let you guys know when I'm coming. I can't
Are you
wait.
going to challenge us? Hey, I'm bringing my kids to the bathroom.
We're gonna sit right in the front row, and I'm gonna bring a whole bunch of hard candy.
I'm
And you guys are
sorry.
gonna know, Hey guys, how you doing? Speak louder. For tickets and more, visit algonquinplayhouse.org.